Boom, coming home after another crazy day at London Real Studios. Today, I got to sit down with Eddie Hall, who is the world's strongest man. He won the competition in 2017, and the year before that, he completed what he called the greatest lift in human history, and he might be right. That's a 500 kilogram deadlift. That's a human being lifting 1,100 pounds off the ground. When he did it, his eyes started bleeding, his nose started bleeding, his ears started bleeding, and inside his brain was bleeding. He went unconscious, his heart rate went above 200, and it probably took 10 years off his life, but he did it. And when he did that record at 500, he beat his previous record by 37 kilograms. He just decided that he was going to go so big that he would be remembered for all eternity. And maybe hold a record that won't be beaten in his lifetime. And it was really great to sit down with Eddie because he's a fascinating guy. You know, when you see these strongmen, you just think, oh, they're just big lumps, and that's the way they were, and of course they should win these things. But Eddie worked hard to become the world's strongman. And he spent every single day, 365 days before that competition, in pursuit of that greatness. That means every hour of every day was dedicated to the competition. He said he would see his kids and his family maybe 1 or 2 hours a week, and at the end he wouldn't even see them at all. He would be in a hyperbaric chamber at home. He'd be waking up in the middle of the night to eat. He'd be training. He'd be doing physio. He'd be doing hot-cold therapy, anything to get him to have that chance of taking and being the winner of the world's strongest man. And the reason he did this is because that was a promise he made to his grandmother on her deathbed when he literally watched, thank you man, appreciate, when he literally watched her die of cancer in front of his eyes, and he promised her that he would win that competition. And he got really emotional today in the studio, and I really appreciate Eddie because he's the world's strongest man, and he's also the world's most emotional man. And it's nice to see those things going hand in hand. And he also was a guy that struggled with major depression when he was a kid. 13 years old, he didn't leave the house for a year and a half. He was expelled from school. He thought about suicide, but it was really his nan encouraging his dreams, and also a physical practice that got him out of his head and working toward these amazing life goals. And now Eddie is an inspiration to people all around the world. He's going on to tackle Hollywood. Again, a massive challenge for him, which is what he likes. And he's really investing a lot of time in that. Over the last 180 days, he's been in America for 160 days. He's got a new series coming out on the History Channel, another series called Eddie Eats America. And it was really just great sitting down with this guy and understanding the essence of the human struggle and how we can all be great if we just push through the difficulties. And when he was 2 years old, he said he used to love to jump in the pool. And when he was 2, all of his family would have to jump in after him and save him. And he said after doing that for about 4 days in Portugal, one time he jumped in and his mom looked at him and said, "Fuck off, sink or swim." That's what his mom said. Okay, he's from Stoke-on-Trent because that's how they roll up there. And he swam. And he said that's the definition of his life. You either sink or you swim. And that's his advice to all of us. Sink or swim. And if you sink, you die. You go deep into your depression. You go deep into your own problems. You go deep into your own victim mode. And you tell yourself all the reasons why it's someone else's fault. Or you can fucking swim. You can get out there and you can move forward. You can go after your goals and your dreams and your challenges. You can design your life. You can go get some. And that's what Eddie did. And you wouldn't know it, but that could have been some kid hanging by a rope at 13 years old that they would have rolled out in a body bag. And now he's the world's strongest man. And as he said, for that one day or that 1 year, out of 7 billion people on the planet, he was the strongest man, the most alpha, as he would say. And that's something he's proud of, and he should be. So just want to thank Eddie for an incredible conversation. It was 2 hours long. It got very emotional in the middle there, and I really appreciate him showing that emotion to show that, you know, you don't have to be a tough guy to be a tough guy. You know, you just don't. And to actually try to bottle up your emotions isn't ever going to lead to anywhere great. And Eddie, he literally demonstrated that today. And I really appreciate his ideas and thoughts about mental health, about working hard, about not accepting defeat, about being obsessed. And he really is more than you might think he would be. And that's what we always find out on London Real. Everybody has an incredible human story. It's never what you expect. It's always something we can all learn from. It's the human experience. That's what it is. And, you know, what a beautiful way to learn about it by listening to Eddie Hall. So thanks so much, Eddie. I really appreciate that. We really enjoyed having you. This will be up on our channel soon. Yeah, thanks so much for being a part of this. Peace.